Okay, so let me just say that this video is proudly sponsored by Lemonade Finance. So for those of you who are hearing Lemonade Finance for the first time, Lemonade Finance is a money transfer app that you can use to send money from the UK, Canada, and the US to 10 different African countries at no charge at all, guys. Over the last couple of weeks, because of their very excellent rates, they've had so many people like on the app, so it's been a bit slow, but they've sorted everything out. But if you have any issues, just contact their customer service, or there's a link in the app to their Telegram. Just contact them there and then it will be resolved for you. Okay, so you can send money from the UK or US or Canada to countries like Ghana, Kenya, Nigeria, Senegal, Ivory Coast, Cameroon, Benin, Tanzania, Uganda, Rwanda, and they have the best rates in the world, I think, at present, honestly, guys. And don't forget that when you use the referral code Nanelle, you get 10% of the money that you are transferring back into your account, okay? And yes, I'm happy to see all of you here, guys. Today's video is very, very, how do I say, very, very important to me. Yeah, I'm very, very excited. And guys, we have here, his name is not Diaspora Careers and Investment. His name is Dr. Shadrach Dare. This is not to find out who he is and all that. I already have a video where I asked all those questions. So in this video, we are just going to talk about money, investment, being financially free. Okay, so Dr. Shadrach, like his name says, he's a nurse like most of you watching me. And then he's also done his PhD. That's how come he's a doctor. And he's lectures in one of the universities here in the UK. He's a very learned man. You can see him like that. He's very learned. Yes. So Dr. Shadrach Dare, have you heard that story? I think I sent you a voice note telling you about that story of that Nigerian man that they said he moved to Ukraine. He started working. He got his papers in Ukraine. So he just made all his properties and all his investments there. And then something came, with the war and everything. And he had to go back to Nigeria empty-handed. He didn't have a house there. He had not made any investments. And at the time, the economy in Ukraine was unstable because of the war. So it's not like he can make anything from the investments he made there. So what do you think for this man? I always was of the view that since I plan to live here for a long time, it's better for me to invest where I am, and rather it's not safe to invest in a place where I don't know how the economy is probably going, or because I'm not there, people might squander my money. In your opinion, what's the right thing to do with all your knowledge on finance?
After such eloquent introduction, you've raised the expectations so that people will be expectant that I say something very smart. But no, thank you for those very kind comments, and especially I owe you a lot, for even my YouTube channel, which is Diaspora Careers and Investments, where I speak about personal finance. I mean, you encouraged me to start it, because after our conversation. So thanks very much. I think it's important that because this conversation is about investments and about money, I like it that you told people that my PhD is in public health, and my first degree is in nursing. So like many of your listeners, I'm a nurse and a doctor, I'm a lecturer. I hold absolute no degree in finance. In fact, my accounting is as terrible as something. So that if you would go like Shadrach said this and I went to do this and it backfired, that's on you. So I guess it's worth to say that there's no financial advice.
Yeah, by the way, yeah.
But that if it also inspires any confidence, I mean, because some of us have been around for a while, we've taken the time to understand the system here, even to read, to educate ourselves. We are not there yet, but the little we know we can share. To go to your question about what I think about, this man, very sad story. I mean, and it breaks my heart. And I think it could happen to any of us. And since when you sent me that, I've also, tried to listen around. And I know people are saying, why would he even do that? He should have invested in Nigeria. That is home. That is home. Ukraine is not home. What did he even go to Ukraine to do? But that's hindsight, as though he's crazy. In my last but one video that I uploaded, I read a portion of a certain book, a book on the psychology of money. And there's a chapter on no one is crazy. It says nobody is crazy. To you, the decision the man made was a crazy one. And so why would he do that? But so how long do I have to answer this question actually? But I think it's important to set the fundamentals right.
Yeah, but the video, the live is just for 1 hour, but
All
in
right.
a very short I've shared the link already, and
Yeah.
we will invite people to join and
All
give
right.
their opinion as well. So guys, I've shared the link. Just tap on the link to join and give your opinion on what are the best investments for, in your opinion, for people in the diaspora. And if you have any experience investing back home or investing here, share your experience with us as well. Okay, so Dr. Shadrach, just brief. I know you're a lecturer, so you like to talk, but just brief today.
I mean, I think he made a decision based on the knowledge he had at the time. It wasn't a crazy decision at the time. It was fantastic. We all have the benefit of hindsight, and so now he may have known better. Who knew there was going to be war in Ukraine? Let me tell you a story. There's a friend of mine who had a house. He was building a house in Ghana, and he consulted. Well, we speak, so he was like, "Oh, Sharak, I'm thinking of doing this house." I discouraged him that don't do it. He started roofing. Forget it. You are not going to live there. The pride, I get all of that. Forget it. And encourage him to buy a place in Liverpool. He pushed, bought a place in Liverpool. Next year, there's going to be what is known as Eurovision. Do you know Eurovision?
What's that?
It's this singing contest. I don't even watch it, but it's a big deal in Europe.
Okay.
So people travel all over the world to come to the country to come and watch the singing contest. It's a European contest. Go and check Airbnbs in Liverpool for next year, the time they are doing the Eurovision. A night is going for like £200 or something, and places are getting fully booked. This guy has got his place booked for like 2 weeks, and he's making like bare money. Like you'd
So
have thought.
you have not answered my question.
All right. So
Yeah.
I think it's neither here or there. It depends on what works for you at the time. I guess with hindsight, you would know that you could have done here as well as in wherever you are. But of course, if you have only £1,000, only £2,000, where do you put the money? No one is crazy. It depends on what works for you. And I can see wisdom in both. Personally, I would invest where I am if I know that it's pretty stable. What if you built in Nigeria and there was flood or there was war in Nigeria? You would have also been the same person telling me, why did you do in Nigeria when you live in Ukraine? So,
Wow. We have S here. S, can you hear me? Hello, S. Okay, guys, please, if you can, the link is shared here. If you have anything you want to share. So personally, what I think is that I think that first of all, I plan to live here for a while. Okay, so why not now I'm of the view that let me just start something here. Okay. And then if I'm comfortable enough here, then I can start something back home as well. Okay, the house that if I want to build a house in Ghana, it doesn't necessarily have to be a house like a residential place. It can be like an apartment, okay, where I can start making money from it. Okay, I think when people are of the view that, let's say, if you are building back home, it definitely has to be like a residential, and then your family or your extended family will be the ones living in, whilst you are not making any profit or anything from it. But it can be like an apartment where you're making a commercial building where you're making money from it as well. Guys, I've shared the link.
can I ask a question actually?
Yes, you can. Guys, please join and share your opinion. What are the investments that you've tried and have they worked? And what do you think about this gentleman's case? What should we do as immigrants? Okay. Yeah. There's Toby here. Toby. Hi, Toby. Hello, Toby. There's Peace here. Let's talk to Peace. Hi, Peace.
Hello, Nanelle.
What do you think?
I think investing both here and in Ghana, for instance, is okay. Because, for instance, if you were renting back home and then you have to travel back home and you have to stay in a rented apartment or something, I don't think that is nice. So it's better you have something like your own house where if you go back, you can actually stay. And then at the same time, where you are, because of this, I believe that in the UK here, the rent we are paying is the same amount you pay for the mortgage. So why don't you just also invest in the mortgages here and then back as well. That's my opinion anyway.
But how many times do you travel back home? Because in a year you have like 5 weeks annual leave in the entire year, right? So if you are building because when you go back home, you like to have your own place to live in, that's just like 5 weeks a whole year. Do you think it's worth it?
For me, like where as you are scared of someone spending your money, I think I also have that perception. So I think that if you have the money, you should buy it outright instead of building.
Hey,
That's my opinion. Yeah. We have mortgages back home as well. If
okay.
you do your research well, we have mortgages back home as well. So if you do the mortgages back home as well, it's better. Me, Miss Ropa, like sorry to speak cheap, but I'm really scared of somebody spending my after all the hard work and everything. So if you
Yeah.
have the money, go and buy a house back home instead of allowing somebody build it for you. That's what I think.
Yeah, I agree. I also think that if you don't have the money to buy a house outright back home, you could, anytime you are off, you could book ahead of time. Let's say you can plan it well and then arrange, let's say, your vacations, let's say 2 weeks in March, and you make sure that you pay for a flight ahead of time. You go there, you do the foundation, you come back. 6 months later, you gather money for the first level or whatever. You go up, you go, and then you continue. Because personally, like Nes, please, like what I've been saying, my parents, they used over 10 years to build their house. Okay. This person will do to this level and then will spend the money, and then this person will continue and will spend the money until my elder sister said, I can do it. Let me handle it. That's when we're able to finally finish building the house and then we moved in. So, yes, I think if you can afford, just go there, book your flight ahead of time, go there, is worth it. People have bought lands. They think they bought land, but they haven't. They've not bought anything. And our part of the world is very, very scary because the last time I was listening to somebody, like I was listening to Kennedy Japan. Guys, for those who are not from Ghana, Kennedy Japan is this very wealthy politician in Ghana, and even him, people have even him. Even if they duped him, even Kennedy Japan was duped buying land. Can you imagine? They sold the land to him and sold it to somebody else. So even if how much less to you that you are somewhere with your peanuts, okay? So I think we should be very, very vigilant with those things. I have an uncle who got into depression because of this, and he eventually died. He trusted a pastor to do this for him. He was bringing money back to Ghana. This pastor was not doing what the money was supposed. When he later realized, it just put him into depression. This was so much money, guys. Guys, who else has
Can I share a view here?
Yes, you can.
As you would have known from my videos, when it comes to money, I'm not emotional about these things. Yeah. And I think my first question is, why do you want to build a place in Ghana in the first place? And I think, Nanelle, you mentioned commercial property, and Peace was saying maybe she would live in. I have a different view on all of this. There's something called buy-to-let here in the UK. How much do you think it will cost you to build a place in Ghana? No emotions. Give me a number.
Let's say £100,000.
Yes, it will cost you at least £70,000 to put up a place to rent out.
Yeah.
With £70,000, I bet you can buy a 2-bed property in Manchester, in Liverpool, in Glasgow, and rent it out. Now, for putting £70,000 in Ghana, how much do you think it will earn you a month? If you rent out the place, the cedi is now 17.3 cedis per pound. So tell me, how much in pounds do you think you would earn for investing 70,000? If you are talking of emotions, then I'm not a specialist there. But if you're talking of finance, numbers, so that is what it comes to when it comes to me. It's a question of, Shadrach, if you've got £70,000, would you put it in Ghana, whereby you would rent it and get, even if you're getting 5,000, you won't get 5,000 on it. Even if you're getting 2,000, what is 2,000 cedis? Well, less than £200.
Allowing other people to join. Peace. Thank you. Yeah. Bernard. Yeah.
Yeah. It's less than £200. But with 70,000 invested in a buy-to-let here in the UK, Nanelle, you would earn more than £400. So it's a question of, and the Bible says that where your treasure is, there your heart is. Me, I don't want to put my money somewhere and they'll call me, hey, the house is moving. And then, hey, your heart is, no. I want to put it where I see it. So I think that's what It can, but I can understand the
And remember
emotional part.
that you are
Yeah.
not from here as well.
Nanelle, where is anyone from? Where is anyone from?
Right?
Home is where you make it. My name is Shadrach, and in the Bible, Shadrach went to Babylon and made it. So for me, this is my Babylon. I have come here to make it. I did not read that when Shadrach was in Babylon, he invested in Israel. No, I did not read that. This is my Babylon. So it depends on your mentality and what you think you've been promised. Because if you're back home, even Accra, the place is flooding. People are losing their homes. So we can only pray that we pray for the country to prosper, and the Lord will prosper us also. If I'm going to Ghana on any day, I can sell that buy to let and buy any house I want with that money without any qualms. I think that's what I would do,
Wow.
But that's my view, and it's not popular. So,
Bernard, what's your view?
Actually, me in Ghana, I'm working elsewhere, somewhere, and I wanted to do something small in my hometown. I'm not there, but something that you could buy it 10 cedis, they will give it to you 20 cedis.
Imagine.
So being outside there, I think you have to invest over there. Then when you are coming back home, then you come and invest here. That's my view, because me, even in Ghana, investing small at my hometown, people try to, look me with some kind of money. So I think it's better to invest at where you are.
I mean, if you live in a peaceful, relatively peaceful country, of course, if you live in, a war-torn country, then you don't want to put your money there. But the UK is pretty stable.
Whoever thought Ukraine would be war-torn anyway.
Thank you so much. Did not know. Yeah.
Thank you, Bernard. Thank you so much. Kofi, let me see your face, please. I saw your face on the bed.
I saw your face on the bed.
Someone said, my brother-in-law is fully trustworthy and oversaw the pictures of land and building of property. We are planning to do Airbnb. Property is completed. Security for our old age. That's very good. Some people are actually very lucky. They have genuine people back home to help them with these things. So that's good. Someone says, the house is moving. Hey, they go nowhere.
Charlie.
You are very correct. Dr. Shadrach, someone is laughing.
Yeah.
Someone said it's a family house.
Yeah. It's important to add that.
I think it's better to know the kind of family members you are dealing with. Not all the same. Yeah, they're not all the same. It can't be a general perspective. But Joshua, I tell you, most of them are not trustworthy. I tell you.
No. Sometimes people have not handled some money before. Once you give them some amount, ideas creep into their head. Like how, house flies come to the house once, once it rains and there's light. They all come around and then it's crazy. I think, Nanelle, you made a point, and we are nearly sweeping over that, but you made a crucial point about I think it was Peace who said that a place she would live when she's in Ghana. And you asked an important question, how long are you in Ghana for? There's something called hotel. I don't know if many people are familiar with it. If you rent if you have a property here that is fetching you £500 a month, Nanelle, if you go to Ghana for 5 weeks, you can rent any hotel you want. You don't have to own it now. You just rent a hotel. If your house is in my village in Swedru and you land in the airport, would you now drive to Swedru every night? No. With a hotel, you are flexible. If you have the money, cash is king. Once you have the liquid, and if you are earning the money from here, you go rent a hotel anywhere and be moving around and enjoying your life.
Dembian says, I think parents will not disappoint. Hey, some parents, they are worse. I'm telling you. I know what I'm talking about.
I heard somebody's parents who told him, how much is even this money you are complaining? Even bigger money we have chopped, and your small money you are complaining.
Jessica, what do you think, Jessica? Jessica's network is really bad. Jessica's network is really bad. Kofi? Tilly, I have already done a video about the S&P 500. Tilly, have you not watched it? And Shadrach has videos on his channel detailing how you can actually start. So Tilly, please check those videos. Those are in-depth, okay? Today, we just want to discuss. As for me, I can't trust any member of my family to build for me. That's from Chef Ogi. I would rather pay a construction company to build for me and pay the commission that is required. That's another point, because usually those ones there's a contract, so they can't. Yeah, I think that's good. That's good as well. Yeah. Next, Dio says parents are worse because you can't do them anything. Yeah.
Oh, they do. Even bigger money we have chopped. You or small money you are complaining.
So, Dr. Shadrach, I know you do other investments. I know you and your friends, you came together, you gathered money and you bought a house and you're renting the house out. Kofi is here. Kofi's network is bad. Amma.
Hello.
Hello,
Yeah.
Amma. Amma, what?
Hi, Nanelle. Yeah.
I think
Amma,
Kofi is speaking.
Yeah. Kofi's network is bad. Amma, what do you think?
Okay, I've realized you're all talking about property, but I think there's treasury bill that we can invest. Okay, let me start by first saying, for me, I believe in right in the corner where you are. So I live in the UK. Let's make this place suitable, comfortable, and just like whatever you would want in life for yourself first before you focus on back home. But it's not back home is not all about property, like investment. What brought me here now, Janelle, I think this is the third video I'm watching of you. The first one I just came across it when you were telling about when you bought your new property.
Oh, that's recent. Thank
yes,
you.
that's recent. So congratulations. So I am interested in buying. I haven't bought my own yet. So I just watched that video. And just about 20 minutes ago, I came across the video that you were talking about, the SP500. So
Yeah.
that is what I realized this video is live, and I just stayed on
Thank
to,
you.
yes. So like if you have insurance, I would say before I relocated to the UK, I had a few insurance policies before I relocated, and I had one treasury bill. And then when I was relocating as well, I think I invested about 1,000, or I'm not sure whether it was 1,000 or 2,000 Ghana cedis in treasury bill as well. As at now, I think it's about 7,500 or maybe more. Yes. So treasury bill is also good. It's not all about property and giving. That's why nobody will take your money. The last time I went back home, when I was down on funds, I realized some of my insurance policies had matured. I just went to collect my money. So I think that one is also advisable.
That's very important. It's like we are focusing on house.
Yeah.
Yes.
There are other things as well.
Investments, bills, and all of that.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And I have a video that I'm uploading soon about the step-by-step on how to buy a house for immigrants. So
okay, I'll have a look. Okay.
All right.
All right. Bye.
Bye. Hello, Kofi. Someone says, my daddy will say, save your money, come home and do it yourself. And I think it's good. Yes. Even the daddy does not want to entangle himself. Yeah. That's good. Kofi, can you hear me, Kofi? Exactly what I was thinking. Once I have made the property here, once I go back, I can feel some. Yeah. Hello, Kofi. We are listening.
Okay. I don't know if you can hear me. Hi.
I can hear you.
All right. So I want to pick Dr. Shadrach for his word. Yeah. I remember one of his videos. He was talking about not putting all your eggs in one basket.
That's true.
I share in that. I want to make a property back home in Ghana. You can, or back in your country in Africa, you can. I feel there are these new estates, but it shouldn't be. It should be money that you've set aside, money that you are not. You don't have any plans for now. So if you feel like making property back home, you can. There is Apollonia City I recently said on. They have nice estates that they sell. You can buy those ones and sell them at any time. Back in Ghana as well. So I just want to pick that.
I think you can get your mortgage and go to them. The last my check on Apollonia, they don't give mortgage.
Oh, they don't give mortgage?
No. I think it's an estate, like they are builders and You
Okay.
pay and then they build
It's an
for you
estate,
and
yeah.
that kind of thing. An estate. Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, I see. So what investments are you doing, Kofi?
Yeah, and I think it's a very nice place.
What investments are you
Currently, as it stands now, I went to the UK, yeah, but I've been following Dr. Shadrack a lot. I recently created a
Thank you.
Vanguard account, so I intend investing there as well, and probably if I want to make a property back home, one of these estates where you can always sell shit, but depreciate as Dr. Shadrack will always say, you should always, and I think for me, if I'm going to invest in any property back home, it will be a I don't plan on using now. So there's some money I set aside that some people say a chicken change, something I don't intend using. Yeah.
Wow. All right. Yeah.
But
Thank you.
it's been really educative. Listening to you, Dr. Shadrack, and it's been really helpful.
No,
Thank you,
thank you.
Nanelle. Thank you, Dr. Shadrack, as well.
Thank you so much, Kofi, for joining. Thank you. Yeah. So Lade, are you here?
Yeah.
Lade, where do you invest?
Firstly, I would want to say that this live video is actually very informative
Thank you.
because I've actually been looking for something like this, and then it started from the video I saw of about I think it was SP 500 as well.
S&P
So
500. Yeah.
from the video, I went to Dr. Shadrack's page, and
Okay.
then I watched all the videos on this page from
Hey.
ISA to SP 500 to buying a home to all of that. So moving on, firstly, I wanted to comment on a couple of things. Number one is about the man in the Ukraine and all of that. For me, well, I don't know how old because I think age might be one of the factors to look at. Because if I were to be in the man's shoes, the first thing I would do, like Dr. Shadrack said, to me, definition of home is not Africa. Definition of home is not UK. Definition of home is not wherever you think. Definition of home is where I stay and where I plan to stay for a long time.
I think that's a
Purpose.
good point. Yeah.
Yeah, so for me, I always look at the long term. Okay, a couple of people, I know a couple of my friends that came to the UK and then they felt like, oh, I just want to be here, just study and go. But they have this money. So money is not, it's not because of money or whatever. That's why they're in UK or good life and all of that. Back in Nigeria, they're okay. So they just want to come here to actually study and go back. For someone like me, I just want to come here, study, and stay here. If I'm going back to Africa, I'm just going for vacation, holidays, or where I'm here to stay, have my kids, have my family, raise. So for someone like me with that mentality, you don't expect me to buy my first house or start my first business in Africa, knowing that I'm
I
going
like
to be
that
here for
point.
the next.
First house.
Yeah.
First house, yeah.
So you don't expect me to when I know I'm going to be here for the next 20, 30, 40 years. So I know on the long run, if after my first, second building and then maybe investment and all of that, I feel, oh, let me expand this thing.
Yeah.
Let people benefit from my business and all of this.
Diversify
Okay,
is what we say.
Yeah. So why not? Then I can look into that and all of that. But moving on, and in regards to investment as well, before I came into the UK, I hate seeing money in my bank account. I'm that kind of guy that would never want to even see money in my bank account. The only money I want to see in my bank account is my checking, the money I know I want to spend, not the money that, when it comes to money, I would rather just put everything in investment, put everything in all
What
of
kind of
this.
investments do you do now?
Currently, I actually trade Forex. I'm a Forex trader. So I've been trading Forex for about 5 years. So when I was in Nigeria, then I learned all this investment from my father, actually, because he's also into treasury bills, all of these things that the woman mentioned earlier, and properties, real estate. So I had friends who were into Forex as well. And then, I invested in their company. I don't like to touch people's money. I don't take people's money and all of that. I
Lade,
just
you
trade.
must be rich. Lade, you must be rich. Hey.
Well, definition of richness is different. As of now, I'm not where I want to be yet. So I'm just trying to talk about my experience generally. So I don't like to touch people's money. I'd rather trade with my money. But I had friends who were doing the same thing I was doing. I gave out money to them. and you know, I was getting interest and all of that. So when it was close for me to relocate to the UK, okay, I just found out their business collapsed. They started. I think there was a time in 2021. Yeah, it was 2021, if I can remember, or 2020. Forex markets was collapsing. Bitcoin was dropping. All these things, and you know, this we are just traders in this market. We are not brokers. We can't control the markets. You can't control this is where the market should go, or this is how the. So everything started crumbling and all of that. As then I know I lost over 20 million naira. With these are people that are my friends. Oh, they are my, so when it comes to things like that, obviously, what do I want to do? I can't. There was little to what I can actually do because these people have known them for like 5, 6, 10 years. And when it was good, I was making the money. So it wasn't like I just invested with them and then the next month all these things crashed and all of that. So coming into the UK, my mentality changed to, oh, I actually would like to see this money in my bank account. I don't even want it to be invested anywhere. Let me log in. And fun enough, almost every morning, there's no day. I've been in the UK. I came in January. I've been in the UK for a while now, at least for a couple of months. There's actually no day I don't log into my HSBC account or my Lloyd's account. Let me just see this money. I don't want stories and all of that.
It's not going anywhere. Relax.
Yeah, let me just see this money. So, but lately I've actually been thinking, what can I invest in the UK and all of that? You know, for someone who just came in, you don't want to rush and invest into something you don't have an idea about, and then boom, the money goes, you know, and all of those things. So watching the SP 500 and the ISA account, I actually created the ISA account. That was 2 days ago. I commented on one of Dr. Shadrach's posts, if you can remember, telling him I would like to link on LinkedIn, meet him on LinkedIn or something. So I just created that. I funded it with 4,000 already. I created for my girlfriend as well, funded with 4,000 and all of that. So just to like know more about all of this. So for me, this life is actually very informative, very educative. And trust me, there's a whole lot of people like me, I'm very sure, that are actually looking for trusted people like this to get information from. So thank you so much for this.
Thank you so much, Lade. Wow, for your girlfriend too. She's blessed. Someone says, forget about building back home and get into animal farming, pigs, goats, etc. You love it. Celebrity nurse, farming in the UK or farming in Ghana or Africa? Where? Which kind of farming? What? Where? Because if I like listening to like very rich people. So I was listening to Kennedy Japon, and somebody asked them this question. Guys, those who are not from Ghana, this man is a rich politician in Ghana. He says if you want to invest in that, if you are not there physically, forget it. For farming, if you are not there physically, forget it. So guys,
just not farming. Anything. From my experience speaking to people, I noticed that being here and sending money and expecting things to be done is a risky venture. The only secure thing you can do is maybe money markets. So whether treasury bills or these things, and we know how the exchange rate is messing up people's investments, you know. But yeah, I mean, there's nothing more than you doing it yourself where you see it. And I tend to invest. I mean, of course, I've got bits here and there, but
I know that you and your friends brought your money. You own your own house. You and your wife, you own your own house. Good. And then I know that you and your friends
you are playing my cassette here now. You are playing all my cassettes here.
your friends came together, joined money together, and then bought a house and you're renting it out. How is it going? Was it worth it? Would you encourage us to do that?
If you know what you're doing is doable, you have to set a company. So it's not for Shadrach, it's for the company. And we all, you know, we have people who work for the company. So once it's the company, because there are tax implications too. Because you may be earning, I don't know, whatever you are earning, if your tax is 30% or 40%, once it's in your name, everything you earn is taxed 40%. So half of the money HMRC has given it to Sunak to go and work with it. But if it's a company, then it's only 19%. I think I've got a video where I'll be talking about, you know, buy to let and how to go about it. So those are some of the things. So you give your money to the company, you do not give your money to Shadrach, you know, and then it's a company that owns the place. Every year, we can pay ourselves £2,000 in dividends, which is non-taxable, you know. So those are and some we have to reinvest. So the company is growing and we are shareholders of the company. So, I mean, I don't own a place, you know, I own my house, but I don't own a buy-to-let. It's, you know, the company. that
And
owns
you
it.
work for the
I work
company.
for the company, exactly.
Paper, but the house is for you guys. So, guys, those who are confused, he's talking about buy to let. He and his friends came together, gathered money, and they bought a house, and then they are renting it out. But like he said, if it's in your name, you're going to pay so much tax. So it's in a company, and then it's like he and his friends, they work for the company, so that way they don't pay so much tax. You see how clever this man is. Guys, I'll leave a link to his YouTube channel in the description. Follow him and watch all his videos. You'll be blessed. Samuel. Hello, Samuel.
If you know how the buy-to-let market is at the moment, Nanelle, yeah. I just shared a video today about how I don't pay any rent in my house. Have you seen it?
I've not watched it, but I've seen it. I'll not lie.
You should see it. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Samuel, are you here? Someone says if you are spending the money back home, then you can invest home. For example, I plan on finishing my dad's building to rent so that I will not be always sending them money so that I can invest in UK. Wow, that's really good. That's really good. So I know people that have set businesses for their families back home so that they will not have to, like, let's say I know friends that have bought like shops for their moms or their dads to sell stuff, so that they wouldn't have to keep sending money every month, and then they can invest that money. So that's like that, and it's really good. And like what the other person
How
was
is that going? I'm interested. How is that going?
Judith, would you like to join? How is that going? Dr. Shadrach wants to know.
I mean, those who are setting up businesses for their parents, how is that business going?
I don't know.
Because one thing you ought to be clear, if you've read this book, The Richest Man in Babylon, it talks about... Oh, have you read it?
I read it, yeah.
Oh, so you must know the story I'm talking about.
Yourself, all that. Say it again. Just say what you want to say.
There was this guy in that book. There was this guy who got money and gave it to a carpenter to go and buy gold for him so that they will sell it and make profit. And they lost.
Yeah, you always have to make sure you're seeking advice from people that have already done it.
Exactly.
Yes, exactly.
Exactly. So if your parents, with all respect, have not sold things before, and you open a shop for them, thinking it will make profits, it will take luck for them to make it. Because if you're selling, my mom sells tomatoes and all of that. I understand how this business works. The profit is like 2 cedis, 1 cedi, 3 cedis. And the money is moving all the time. So that if your parents don't understand this, and they eat gari and add sardine, the profit for the day has gone into the sardine and they are done. So you ought to be sure that they know, these things. Yeah.
Yeah. So me, that I have plans of maybe in future being like you. If I get money, I have to come to you.
Ridiculous. That's ridiculous. In the future, be like me. You are my future. On this YouTube business, you are my future.
I'm trying to be humble. Someone said,
no.
I opened a shop for my mom and she's doing well. I have been monitoring.
Good.
Okay.
Did your mom have previous experience of selling or something? Like, what is her experience? Because that is relevant to this. If your mom was jobless for a long time and you did this, what was her background?
Yeah. So guys, I'm sharing the link again. If you want to share, those who have done other investments that we've not mentioned, please come and tell us how it was. What's your advice for people? Samuel, I'm still trying to get you. Yeah. So Era says, wow, very informative on the buy to let. We'll be looking forward to a video on that. So Dr. Shadrach, that would be really helpful. So guys, please, I've shared the link again. You can join, okay, and then share what you think. We'll be closing very soon in the next 20 minutes, okay. Margaret says, maybe to invest back home, you leave the UK during those 5 weeks holiday. You go buy already built up apartment through a registered estate manager with legal documents, and yeah, that's it. Jack says it all depends, but personally, when I first came to Europe, I thought it would be good to invest back home. But the more I have paid rent, the more I realize I need a home here where I am, not in my country. Exactly.
I actually saw this man. If you see where he lives here, it's a bit sad, He lives in an old council estate and all of that. Nanelle, when we went to Ghana earlier this year, and I met him in his house, Shadrach, I was like, I have to take a picture here. Beautiful house. And I was wondering, You live like and you have this mansion. I would have said this is madness, but I know better. Yeah.
Oh, somebody tried to join. Please come again. Yeah.
See what somebody has written, that the sardines has taken all the profit. But it's true, you know.
Yeah, she said she was already into selling, so I helped her to expand.
So you see, that is an important information we need to know.
So his channel is called Diaspora Careers and Investments, but we'll leave a link. But I can only leave the link after the video is done, after the live is done. So I'll do that immediately after. Yeah, someone says for farming, my dad's siblings sold all his cattle. It's not safe. You see, yeah. My sister in Ghana invested in Ghana pig farming. Okay, but obviously it was in the rural area. So he used to give to this guy who would go and monitor for him and everything for her because she could not go there all the time. You'll be there, and then one time the guy came and said, "Oh, your pigs, this one has given birth. Oh, see. The next moment they've all died." Those things. Isaac! Woo, 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 woo. Isaac, I'm happy. You see, I've never been this excited to see anybody. Isaac, what do you think?
Good evening to Dr. Dari and to you, Nanelle, and to all. Per my experience, I would think first of all, it's better to invest where you are in the UK. Yes, with the current state of the pound to the CD, it's very appalling to what you are doing actually. If you think it's very lucrative and the results will come in multiples back home, then go ahead. But I think it's better to invest in the UK because £1,000 today will still be £1,000. By 1,000 cedis today might be like 200 cedis in 5 years. And one thing is, when I was back in Ghana, a pound to the cedi was about 8 cedis.
Yes, when I came, it was 6
and over. So I think it's better to invest here, build your credit, save so that you can perhaps get a mortgage or something. Then after that, whatever funds or money you get, it can go back home. It's much better that way.
What investment do you do now personally?
After the S&P 500, yeah, and yeah, and because one other thing is very good. I'd like to commend you and Dr. Dari for the financial and investment advice. It's really been helpful. When we started, there wasn't any very good resources to be directed to, but these have become eye-openers and it's really helping. So I think I would say kudos to you for all this. Because
like I heard it from him, yeah.
Yes, it's quite difficult. You are restricted, so you don't know where to actually put your funds and all that, and it's very eye-opening for to be putting out this. We commend you for that. So, and congrats, Nanelle, on the house.
I have a room specially for you, okay? I'm waiting to come visit. Joe says, I currently have houses. Hey, wow, houses back home, and the maintenance alone is crazy. I think it's best to buy your first house at your current location. Joe, I wish you could call in and share houses. You must be a rich man. Wow. Someone says, it's true, Shadrach. Why live like a beggar here and a king back home when you are mainly here? Very true. Very true. And Ezekiel says, I observed that the little savings I have in pounds is not enough to do any business here in UK. But if I convert it to Naira, Nigeria currency, it can do something. Something must be commenced anywhere. He has a point too, you see, because he's piling it up, but he probably can't even afford a mortgage with that. Like to get the deposits for a mortgage, but it can do something huge in Nigeria.
Like what? Like what? Let's deal with specifics. When it comes to money, it's numbers. Like what? How much do you have here? Which can't do anything here, but can do something huge in Nigeria or something.
He has £4,000.
£4,000.
Maybe he can open a shop in Nigeria. Maybe, I'm not sure. But it can't be a mortgage deposit deal. And he wants to use the money for something. What would you advise?
£4,000. Mm-hmm. If you gave me £4,000, let me work with some numbers and see. £4,000 is not. It's not a lot of money. Even in Ghana, what is 4,000? What can £4,000 do for you in Ghana? Let's face it. Let's assume it's Ghana. Are you going to buy goats and sell and make the profits? I don't know. the fact that you are not there is the limitation. Somebody will chop that money. See, I think it will come to what I invest in. It's about, you don't have to rush these things. You understand?
That's
See,
true.
exchange rate will work some of the magic for you. You know, today 17.3. By Christmas, 20 cedis standard. If it's 20 cedis by December, I'll do a party for everybody on my YouTube channel. You know, no, it's sad, but it's crazy. You know, so when it comes to my investments, I have different pots. I've got 5 years, what I want to do in 5 years, what I want to do 5 to 10 years, 10 to 20 years, and in 30 years' time.
Wow.
30 years' time, I've got a private pension, which I've started. Oh, I've got a video. I know you would love me for that video when it comes out. I promise you that. Private pension. How many nurses here know where their pension is being invested?
That's actually like, I nearly asked you that question. Somebody sent me a message today that, Nanelle, I want to cancel out my pension. How do I do it? I'm like, please ask your HR. Please ask your admin. I don't know. That's why I added that question to it. They want to cancel their pension because they think that they can invest that money that they are paying for their pension.
No, don't. Because your employer is matching it. You are getting free money from your employer and all of that. And it's non-taxable, so leave it. But it's so you can do a private pension in addition, because you have to balance it. What if your investment backfires? You will see, you know. So I'm reading one book that says that good times don't last forever. Remember that. And bad times also don't last forever. Always be cautious. You know, you can be lucky if you go in all once. That's good. But the wisest approach is to be cautious. Do your employer pension, but you can also do a private pension. I took my pension and I checked where they're investing the money. I was like, my money, you are investing this way. Even me, I can do a better job. That's what made me started a private pension. And you know that the private pension, when you put £100, the government pays 25% on top of that. So essentially, I'm investing one of my private pensions is in S&P 500. And whatever, so you have a general, say, stocks and shares ISA. If you put £100, it's £100 you are investing. But if I put £500 in S&P 500 in my pension pot, my SIPP, which is the private pension, the government adds £250. So 25%. So essentially, I am multiplying it more than, do you understand? Like, if I put 1,000, I get 25% on top of that. And I think it's beautiful, you know, that the government adds money to it. They give you back your tax, essentially. And if you are a 40% taxpayer, the government pays 40%. They give you back your tax to invest in S&P 500 for your private pension. Nanelle, I think this is beautiful. So for me, I've got different investments. So for 30 years time, because I'm in my early 30s, when I'm retiring, that is the investment pot. And I'm allowing the government to add 25% to whatever I'm investing there. I'm investing with S&P 500 and other investments as a private pension. Being a private pension means that, of course, I'm not accessing the money until after 30 years. So I'm not worried about my old age. No. My pension as a lecturer would give me something. My private pension will be enough. If this too is not enough, the Lord will take care of me. I mean, if people are living on SNIT allowance and they are fine, I mean, it's fine. Then I have one for 10 to 20 years, and that is my private, so buy to lets, my own house, and other, investments, on the stock markets. I invest in other thing apart from S&P 500. One other one I do is the worldwide,
that's not drunk. How many investments do you do?
No, I mean it's
because it's like it's so many. I'm getting confused.
It's on the same page. I mean, it's all on. So Vanguard gives you an opportunity to do the private pension. You don't even have to go anywhere. It's all on this. It's on my phone. Once I click, I'm seeing everything. So I think it's beautiful. And then I also invest within 5 years. So I think it comes to that, because some people become house poor or because they've used all their money to buy a house and now they are struggling. I mean, I think it's not worth it. So I've got within 5 years.
Guys, that's my mommy's name. I don't know if she's watching. I wish to come and share her own story. Not so much money invested.
Yeah. Anyway, so I guess people can invest, based on have little pots. At every point in time, you know what is maturing for you, so that you are liquid, and have some cash flow also coming in.
Yeah, like I always say, before you invest anything, make sure you have an emergency fund Make sure you have something that you can rely on. Should you fall sick and you're not going to work, or should you lose your job, or should there be anything at all, make sure you have at least 6 months of your expenditure.
Hey, at least no. At least 6 months. Hey, you're rich. At least.
Okay, 3 months. 3 months.
Yeah, 6 months. Okay.
Hey, but how much do you spend in a month? If you spend 1,500, can't you make sure you have like 6,000 in your account and you can use it?
No, 6,000 in this. Hey, you're rich. You have to come to you.
Yeah. Someone says, I will be doing the private pension. My NHS trust has made it compulsory. Wow.
No, it's good. It's good.
Okay.
Because for the pension, you get bonus money from the government when you do it, but your employer is also, the money will come back to you. So if your employer is paying 200 to you every month, why do you cancel that and lose that money?
Yeah.
Don't lose. And if you take it, government will tax you too. So don't lose it. Just leave it.
Okay, so the question is for you. Now that the world is braving for recession, do you think it is wise to invest in S&P? Note that big companies like Meta and Twitter are cutting down their workforce due to poor revenue. What do you think?
I did a video on how to invest in a recession. Nobody watched it. The way I did research for that video, you guys did not watch it. Nanelle, tell them to go and watch that video on how to invest during a recession.
Please briefly summarize what's in that video, but we'll link that video in the description as well.
Nanelle,
guys,
it comes to
8 minutes will be coming to an end. So if you are not calling in,
I think it comes to one thing. Why are you investing? I mean, for the long term. I'm not intelligent enough to know when the stocks are down and buy and sell and all of that. I mean, for the long term. You wanted to buy, I don't know, a TV, or you wanted to buy a land in East Legon. Now they say that the lands were selling for 1 million. Today, recession, the lands are selling for 500,000. This is the time to buy a lot of it. You understand? As long as you know that you are not selling it tomorrow, it will go down, but it will go up. You showed the graph that it will go up. I saw there's one lady I watch on YouTube also. She showed her portfolio, Nanelle. Oh, that was money. The number of zero in front of her account. Because she bought in 2020 when COVID happened. She bought, and it rose afterwards. So even now that we are in a recession, the profit she's made is still compensating. I'm not saying that things will be better, but whenever there has been a recession, we come out stronger. Whenever there is a dip, it comes up. But make sure you have cash, because properties are going to go down. If your cash will be king, if you have the money. So some of us are waiting, like people are saying the property market is crashing. The making noise is crashing. Some of us are waiting for it to crash. I'm not selling my house. When it crash, that's when I'll go like, the Lord has lifted the veil for me. Now is the time to celebrate.
Someone says, I can't wait for his YouTube page to be shared. I will share it, but it's Diaspora Careers and Investment. Yeah.
Or you can just look for my name, Shadrach Diary. It's something will come up and then just like it. And
anybody calling in now, guys, will be closing very soon. Someone says, hello, guys. I'm a Senegalese. I live in Senegal. Consider investing in real estate in Senegalese because rent is very high here. Okay.
People are watching you from Senegal, Nanelle. You are big.
Am I?
Wow, you're huge. Well, I mean,
guys, nobody calling in. 6 minutes and then we'll be wrapping up very, very soon. Hey, please, Dr. Dari, send the link for the private pension. Let me start putting all my money I'm sending to families that don't care about you in there. Yeah. And guys, like somebody sent me the current treasury bill rates in Ghana for like, is it Commercial Bank or EcoBank? And it was really, really good. But then I spoke to, so I wanted to try it. It was really attractive. So I phoned somebody before I wanted to speak to somebody that knows this. So I phoned a banker in Ghana that I know, and the person was like, "Do you see how the cedi is depreciating?" This was months ago. The cedi had not dropped to this level. The person was like, "Do you see how the cedi is depreciating? Take your time. Don't do it yet. Wait." And if I had done it, I would probably have lost a lot of money now. So guys, those that are investing in economies that are not really stable, be very careful. Do something cool. Make sure you're doing it wisely so that you don't lose your money. Mommy, I don't know if this is you. I see Grace Apple. Mommy, I don't know if this is you. If this is you, I really want my friends to see.
Nana, what do you invest in? You tell us, what do you invest in?
Oh, at the moment, just S&P 500, and I do one of the FTSEs, I think FTSE 100 or something as well. I think FTSE 100.
How is that doing? How is that doing?
Let me tell you, after the first day I went, I've not gone to check. You told me not to keep checking. You told me not to be
Okay, but check once in a while, and see which one is doing well.
I get emails from them. I don't even open it. But I have done direct debit for the S&P 500. And then my husband and I, or let me say my husband, he's a dependent, starting an online business very soon that will be investing into that one as well. So those are the two that we are currently, or let me say the three. Yes. But as time goes on and as we make more money, by God's grace, maybe we'll do other things as well. Someone says, my uncle used to save his money over time, then go and oversee building work in Nigeria. Once the money is finished, he comes back to UK and work. The cycle continues till he's finished building. That is what I tell people. I said, do not be deceived. Don't give money to anybody, even if you trust the person. Sometimes just go and have a look at it yourself. You see, there are some people like Dr. Shadrach. I'm not eager to build back home because my parents have a house back home and my siblings are well. They are living well. Okay, but for some people, maybe their living conditions were not all that great, so they want to build something for their families back home. It is very good for those ones. You don't have to be there to build, right? Yes, and then you can do that. Hi, sir, Royal Birth. Dixon, I'm kicking you out. Thank you so much.
Good evening. Good evening, everyone.
Hi, good evening, sir.
Yeah, I buy the idea of that in investment you were talking about, but as something more lucrative business in Nigeria, like real estate in Nigeria, renting a house in Nigeria is very, very expensive. We're talking about investing in real estate in Nigeria. You talk about Lagos Island, Victoria Island, Lekki, where you can use about £10,000 to rent a house for a month.
Wow.
£10,000 for a rent in a month. So whereby if you're based in UK and you have a cash flow to invest in real estate, and especially in Lagos, Lekki or Victoria Island, or the new trade zone in Aja, then within 6 months, there's something they call service plot. Service plot in Nigeria, especially in Lagos, give a lot of money. Within 3 months, you're fucking rich. But most of our investors who are richer, they always invest in this. Even people in UK, they invest in service plots in Nigeria. Then you have a estate manager who can manage for you. Simply, some people hire a lawyer to manage for them on the property, and they make much money.
How much, sir? How much do you think, Royal Birth? How much do you think somebody will need to do this kind of investment? Is it not big money?
Okay, now. There's a pro that I was introduced to last week in the trade fair going on in Lagos, Nigeria here. There's a real estate manager. They build a house, like 3-story building. They now lease it out per apartment, like 2-bedroom flat for 17 years. Okay. Then you are giving this lease for 3 million naira, which is about let's say £5,000. Okay. £5,000 for 17 years. And when you let the place out, monthly, like I said, yearly, you get about 700,000 yearly on it for 17 years. Now, when you look at the rate, in exchange rate, a bank rate is right now in Nigeria, £1,000 is equal to 513,000 naira in Nigeria. But annually on that rent, you are collecting 700,000. That is just 2-bedroom, just room and parlor set, mini flats. But when you are going to about 3-bedroom flat, is where you pay about 2 million naira per annum. You know what is 2 million naira in pounds?
What is it?
Money. 2 million pounds, almost 6,000 pounds.
Okay.
6,000 pounds. Every year, annually, that is your rent. You are getting from your rent just for 2-bedroom or 3-bedroom flats. But if it's in Ikoyi, wow, it's like you are paying. We have people paying like 5 million for annum, 5 million per annum. That's close to 8,000 pounds per annum, which we have more that is more than that. And so that's why you find all the richer men in Nigeria invest in real estate in Lekki, Ikoyi.
I've seen some of those properties on YouTube. They are really nice and they are really, really, really expensive on the island. I've seen some. Yeah. So the Nigerians, Mr. Royal Birth, what do you do? What do you invest in?
Okay, I'm a real investor. I developed,
Okay.
right? And before I come into real estate business, I know how much I'm paying. I saw the building. I know how much I'm paying per rent annually. Before I come to this worst in Lagos, I pay 350,000 naira. That's about 500 pound, 500 pound family annually. About 3-4 years back now, it has become rise, very very high, very expensive. For you to live in on island or Lekki or Ikoyi or Bagada or let's talk about Lagos State Capital, which is Ikeja, very very expensive as well. We have the GRM, very very expensive. Where you have all those people who are rich people in this country, they call real estate as lucrative business where you can make your money fast.
That's good.
I'm not taking anywhere in the world like you can real estate
I
like
think yes,
Nigeria.
real estate is one of the safest, investments that you can do. Real estate. So for Nigeria, Lekki, Ikoyi, those from Nigeria. Yeah. So thank you so
They're
much.
very very expensive. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for
Thank
calling
you.
in.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much. Guys, we are wrapping up now. That was really wow. I've seen some of those properties on YouTube, like they're really nice and they're very, very expensive. So, guys, those who can afford, I think you should look at that side as well. So, someone says, thank you guys. This is so informative. God bless you all. Yeah. This has been a great discussion. I've learned a lot. Thank you. I see people also asking for what the S&P 500 is about. Guys, I have a video on that, and Dr. Shadrach also has in-depth videos about that. I first heard about S&P 500 from Dr. Shadrach Dari. His channel is called Diaspora Careers and Investments. Guys, go and watch. When you invest in the S&P 500, you automatically invest in the top 500 companies in the US, okay? But that's all I'll say. Watch the videos for more explanation. Okay, so people are crazy. In the comment section, it's come to tell somebody that somebody is looking for him. Okay, so okay, guys. So we'll wrap up now. Like I said, this video was proudly sponsored by Lemonade Finance. Okay, use Lemonade Finance to transfer money from the UK for your investment. For your investments, you use Lemonade Finance to transfer money from the UK, Canada, and the US to all your family back home in Nigeria, in Ghana, in Senegal, in Ivory Coast. Okay, all these African countries for free. Okay, so guys, yeah, someone says I'm a nurse and started trading Forex 4 years back, and I've never regretted. Wow, me, I don't have knowledge for that. Sir, do you want to say something? But real estate is actually very safe. It's safe to invest in real estate. Yeah, if you have money, guys. Someone says, thank you, guys. Okay, so we are wrapping up. Thank you so much, Dr. Shadrach. Just wrap up. What do you say finally? Your final words, and then we'll just go.
Oh, I mean, we can only learn as we go on, and the decisions we make today are based on what we know. So be open-minded and don't be overly optimistic, and don't be overly pessimistic. Hedging yourself can be good, but I guess if there's anything I have learned, I only invest in things that I know and I understand. I mean, the first day we spoke, I told you, I only invest in things I actually use. So in my latest video, I've talked about how I don't pay rent because of how I do Airbnb and other things.
You the
These are
same
things.
person, you bought an iPhone for free. You the same person, you are not paying rent. You the same person, you are doing SMP. You the same person, you and your friends have bought a house and you're renting it out.
No, we want to be like you.
Why?
We want to be like you, Nanelle. A man has to feed his family. A man has to work for his family.
Yeah. But I'm really impressed, and I like the fact that when I listen about finance stuff from you, I understand it very well, and like I trust you, and then yeah.
That is good currency. That is good currency. Trust. No, I'm saying that is good currency. If people will trust you to give you, people trusted me to bring me their money. That Shadrach, I know you are trustworthy. Take this money and then let's do this together. And that's how we can grow together. So let's help each other to uplift each other. We are headed for a recession. It's not going to be looking good, but let's support each other and be wise. So yeah, thanks so much, Nanelle, for having me here. Any day, just call me. Let's When you make your money, remember me, Nanelle. Remember
You
me.
make the money, remember me. Tell me,
Oh, Charlie.
saying real estate is good. I'm a Nigerian, but it's not wise to invest in Nigeria if you aren't there to monitor yourself. Okay.
Charlie.
2-bedroom apartment in Senegal in a low area is from $400 to $500. If you go to big money area, you can get 2-bedroom apartments at Senegal. Must be expensive then. I'm one of your trusted realtor. Please contact me to buy your properties here in Nigeria. Hey, say, please. This is not for adverts. Thank you so much, guys. God bless you to organize more informative sessions like this. Amen. Okay. Thank you so much, guys. Bye.
Bye. Thank you, Nanelle.
Bye.